Alright, I'm back again, and I'm going to try to make this short, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And sometimes you do it twice, and that's doo-doo. That's a play on Leslie Nielsen outtake from one of the Naked Gun movies. Yeah, I remember those. For some reason, they thought it was appropriate to have me watch it when I was like 6. There's a couple big stories or a couple big things going down. First, there's some news stories of Mike Pence going through hospitals touring the coronavirus patients without a mask on. That is the person who was put in charge of the response to the whole pandemic. And I'm not sure exactly why he was the one that was chosen, but it explains a lot of Trump's isms. And I don't know if I put this in a video or not, but that's one thing I honestly do think is a downside of Trump is he is relying on people that were put in charge for certain things who, he's taken, he put them in charge and he's taken what they said and, he's running with it. The problem is I just don't think a lot of them need to be in those positions. And I know there's probably some political game played to get Mike Pence in that position. I just don't think he was the right choice. And I know that's just my opinion, but so far I think this is an opinion that a lot of people can find it in their heart of hearts to agree with to some degree. So that's that. The next thing that I really want to hit on. Next point I want to hit on, and this is, I think you will agree, is this is kind of interesting, especially since some of the stuff coming out supports some things I said a month or two ago in my predictions video. My predictions in regards to the election and to Biden's vice president, his running mate. A few good stories, and I'm going to try to throw the links in the description. I'm tongue-tied again today. But here we go. First off, one of the stories says that he's pretty much only considering women as a running mate. What is it I said? Watch for him to pick a female running mate. And I laid out all the reasons why, because you're going to get those people that are like, oh, this is so progressive, I'm going to vote for him so that way we can have the first female vice president. Solely based on that reason alone. Don't be surprised if there's a minority involved. So, several of the people he has supposedly courting are minorities, including that Stacey Abrams of Georgia, the one who lost the election and claimed it was racism, something other. Yeah. She's actually lobbying for the job. And of course you have your Elizabeth Warrens and that too. But here's where it gets very interesting. In one of the articles I'm going to link to, there is this particular line from Biden sticks out to me. It just and this harkens back to my predictions video. He said that whoever he chooses will have to be able to take over and do the job of president on day one. What did I say in the prediction video? Chances are whoever he chooses as his running mate will wind up being the president. Basically what will happen is, I contend, he will get if he wins, the election, he's going to be deemed unfit for one reason or another. And then what will happen is the running mate, who will most likely be a female, especially female minority, who could never get the nomination on their own of their own accord, will suddenly become president. Then you get the whole, yay, we got the first female president. And it'd be who they've really wanted but couldn't get in there. And he said, point blank, that they need to be able to take over on day one in case he is deemed unable because of his health taking a turn for the worse, or he got struck by lightning and died or something like that. It's almost like they're showing you the roadmap. Showing you the roadmap that I told you about 2 months ago. And there will be people try to puff up their chest and say, oh, look how progressive we are. Look how progressive we are. We got the first female president. No! If you want to be progressive, elect a female president outright. Not because of the color of their skin, not because of their gender, but because of genuine qualifications. When you do that, that will be being progressive. Otherwise, it's more or less being bigoted. If you say you're going to vote for someone based on their gender, color of skin, whatever, anything other than their qualifications, more or less, what's the difference in saying you're not going to vote for them? Or what's the difference between that and saying you're not going to vote for them based on their gender or their color or their skin? Bigotry is bigotry no matter what. When you're talking about electing, you're elected, going through the process of voting and electing elected officials, and that's kind of a tongue twister, but when you're talking about doing that, there are only a handful of things you really need to be considered. One, first and foremost, their qualifications. Are they actually qualified for the job there in which they are more or less applying for? The other is, another one of the major ones, and the only other one I'll mention is, are they physically and mentally fit for the job? And I know there are people who question if Trump is mentally fit, but I seriously do not believe, and I'll admit too, there's days I question it myself, but I don't believe Biden is fit mentally for the job. I think there's something going on just by some of the things he says. But like I said, I'll have links in the descriptions to these articles. Like I said, they are showing you the roadmap like they more or less said all along. And, when I mentioned they were going to find a way to get Biden in, and what were they started talking about? Oh, the superdelegates, and you had people like Obama saying, if it don't look like, or if it looks like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are going to get it, I may have to intervene. They showed you the roadmap then. They're showing you the roadmap now. The game plan is Joe Biden will get the nomination, or Joe Biden got the nomination. And if he gets the presidency, whoever the running mate is, and I'm leaning toward Elizabeth Warren, truth be told, unless they do a slip one in and try to get Hillary Clinton in. But my money is on Elizabeth Warren, and that if he gets elected, something's going to happen, and he's just not going to be able to assume the presidency, and the running mate's going to get the job. just wait and see. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going to get off here later.